This is definitely some scary stuff coming out of Minneapolis last night and this morning, where it's pretty clear that the men and women of law enforcement have been abandoned by the Minneapolis police and the leadership in Minneapolis. And what happened last night was some spooky stuff, some very, very serious injuries to people. We had leftoids, storming hotels, with maybe a single officer standing there to try and hold down the fort. This is what the left wants. This is what Tim Walz wants. And if they don't make a change, and I mean like today, early, we're going to have an officer who's going to lose their life because the escalations now are getting so high and the attacks are getting so brazen that it's just... I mean, it's going to warm up this week, by the way. It's not going to be like hot, but it's not going to be 40 below zero, which means you're going to have more people willing to come outside and be participating in this stuff. I want to share a little bit of what happened last night and this morning. I mean, here we have, Freedom News TV simply filming, and somebody chucks a bottle of wine at them as they try to storm a hotel. So this Home to Suites hotel last night was basically under siege because that's allegedly where ICE agents are staying. Could you even imagine if you're just some normie and you're trying to like get a night's sleep and you don't work for ICE? Like, this is crazy. They're throwing ice chunks. They're pushing into the lobby here, making all this noise so people can't sleep. Although I don't think this is probably keeping them up. Here's everyone inside the hotel being like, look at these dumbasses. But you can see, like, they've got the door barricaded. Imagine if you're trying to, like, what if you had a reservation there? What this guy's doing here, like pushing this stuff, just arrest him. You don't get to keep pushing in like this. Like, just pull him in there and arrest him. This is the problem. They just let this stuff boil and boil and boil and boil until it boils over. Let him through. Let who through? I mean, they're being forced to use like vending machines. Fuck you! Like, this is not, by the way, just so we're clear, this is not First Amendment stuff. This isn't First Amendment stuff at all. Like, they're tearing up the hotel. They stormed the hotel. Damaged it. Why? Because look at this guy's like, damn, I'm just trying to sleep. This guy ain't a nice officer. I mean, like, here is, another man who threw a brick at border agents. Again, not First Amendment, not protected speech. You have this guy out here who's like,
press? Are you pressed?
He's bleeding, looks like badly from both hands.
Get back! Get back!
Just a single officer there. And someone just threw a brick. Do you see that? And hit him in the head. Watch this. Well, hold on. There it was. There he is right here in the back. You see him? He's this fat guy in a gray coat. Hit him right in the head. There he's running too. And again, no arrests. This is what I mean. Like, these guys probably can't leave their spot, But I mean, this is not First Amendment. And look at this guy's hands, by the way. Standing there, covered, he's bleeding out of both hands from something.
You press? Are you pressed?
No, you press, yeah. Finally, PD arrives. Finally, they arrive. Everyone gets arrested. But that guy could have been killed. You know? How long are these guys going to have to stand out here alone against the mobs?
Get out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Let's go. Let's go.
And you have this other clip here calling for help. 2 federal officers surrounded by a mob of far-left activists, you know, begging for help. Where is local PD? Look at this guy's hand. He's leaking. By the way, he's a prison officer. He's not even ICE.
Looks like this officer's bleeding.
Yeah, you guys did that.
No, it's not the crime. Honest to God, no, it's not.
Look at all the blood all over the ground.
You understand? Are you pressed? Are you pressed?
Is only press allowed to be on the street?
Oh, he might be bleeding from his nose. He might be bleeding from his nose where he got hit in the face.
Please get back.
Please get back, he's saying. Like, can you guys just get back? I don't want to have to hurt you. Federal agent upset with Minneapolis Police Department for leaving him alone. Hal left protesters by himself until backup finally arrived as he was bleeding from his mouth, nose, and hand.
Sir, while you're giving messages, what would your message to the protesters that want you out be? As long as you're giving comments, do you have any comments to the people that want you out?
Back up! Please, give me some room! It's me and 30 people! Please get back!
It's just one guy there.
I'm also a paramedic. You are bleeding. Can I help you?
I'm fine.
Are you sure?
I'm fine.
Sir, you're giving comment to the local PD. Do you have any comment to the community, to the people that want you out, to the people?
He's a federal prison officer. He's not even ICE. They can't read. They left this man alone to die. Local police officers should be ashamed of themselves, whether it's local police commanders. I doubt it's the rank and file. You know, I doubt the rank and file believe that. I mean, I'm not scared of you. And then he proceeds to winch in over pain after taking a beanbag to the stomach. I mean, here's another guy, fat tuballard, womp womp, busted for throwing ice blocks at law enforcement in Minneapolis, which Homeland Security says is a felony federal crime. It should be. It absolutely should be. These ice blocks are the same as throwing rocks. You know? Now, of course, some liberal judge in Minneapolis will simply let them off without charges. By the way, 911 operatives are now trained not to dispatch to ICE incidents. Many 911 operators have been trained not to dispatch police officers if the caller mentions that ICE is involved. This goes all the way to the top. If accurate, this is a massive federal civil rights case against Minneapolis and Minnesota. The police dispatchers are being told to ignore 911 calls that are not, quote, approved. They're leaving these guys out there against the mobs. I mean, this is an American city and the 600 cops have their own jobs to do. Well, the citizens that are attacking these ICE officers, okay, are their job to do. And by the way, this is why I supported sending 20,000 more officers, DHS officers, into Minneapolis. Donald Trump cannot pussy out here. He cannot pull out troops. He cannot say, oh, I've come together with Tim Walz, and because then they win. They'll call this a victory. I want ICE to stay in Minneapolis until July, until every illegal criminal is gone. As of right now, finally, it seems like they've had enough. Donald Trump's probably had enough of his lady leaders, Ice Barbie and Pam Bondi, two of the biggest disappointments in government outside of Kash Patel. I'm sending Tom Homan in Minnesota tonight. He has not been involved in that area, but he knows and likes many of the people there. Tom is tough but fair and will report directly to me. Separately, a major investigation is going on with respect to the massive $20 billion plus welfare fraud that has taken place in Minnesota. By the way, this is why all of this is happening, right? They are trying to distract from the fraud, right? So Governor Walz is allowing these rioters to go. Governor Walz and Mayor Jacob Loser Fry, or whatever it is, French Fry, they are telling officers, local officers, to abandon their brothers in arms so that more riots will happen, so that more buildings will get damaged, more hotels will get damaged, so that people stop talking about the massive amount of frauds. But Donald Trump is putting it right back out there on Front Street, and at least partially responsible for the organized protests that are going on the streets, mentioning the signal chat. Additionally, the DOJ and Congress are looking at Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, who left Somalia with nothing. It is now reportedly worth more than $44 million. Time will tell. Thank you for attention to this matter. This is what we need, right? This is what we need. Like, we have to continue to flood Minneapolis with more federal law enforcement. Thousands more. We need to send 10,000 more people in there. You cannot let these leftist groups, which are at least partially, we're going to break down these signal chats in a video today too, where they very clearly are being funded, looks like some internationally or foreign funding. Also, it looks like members of Tim Walz's own government is a member of these signal chats. So they're organizing this stuff. They're facilitating this stuff. At the very minimum, they're ignoring the crimes that are being committed in the groups in which they are members. Okay. And I guess hopefully Pam Bondi will send a strongly worded letter while Tom Homan gets on the ground and gets stuff done. This has to stop, and we cannot back down. Donald Trump needs to pour more officers in there immediately, whether it's the federalizing the National Guard or it's sending in more DHS. I don't care what he calls it, but this cannot continue to happen. I hope you were informed by this video. If you were, please do leave a like on it and make sure you subscribe or follow down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.